Didn't one of you know that Fader Knives guy? No?
No, sir.
I don't even know what that is.
Never mind.
Fedor?
Fader, George, or Jeff Fader. He, makes knives.
Famous person? Like, big guy? Or just makes really cool shit, or what?
Big-ish. I don't know. He was on Keith and Nick and Jason's podcast, but I thought one of you guys knew him. I was following him. Somebody told me to follow him.
Yeah, I don't know. I follow a few knife people. Knife making intrigues me like crazy. Like, I love watching it, and I think it's
I got on
fun.
a tangent on YouTube a while back and was watching it on my TV, and I just watched knife making on YouTube for hours and for 5 nights straight.
Yeah.
It's even
awesome.
what's hilarious. I was listening to that podcast, and they kept making fun of Forged in Fire, and eventually Jason was like, "So I feel stupid for asking, but what's Forged in Fire?" And they thought he was all joking, and he was not.
Yeah.
It's like I've literally never heard of that in my life.
Yeah.
It's like I thought it was like a school or something.
It's kind of cool. Like, I've watched it a little bit. It's just so corny.
Right.
But it's
that's
like the actual making part is cool. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
what
I
he
like
was
seeing
saying.
doing it.
He was like, it's cool because it brought light to the space.
Right.
So if you guys want to go listen to that episode, you should. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, it's cool that they're bringing light to the space, but it's just so theatrical. Like,
where the guy's
stuff
like,
that you're doing is
like
I was just about to say it.
Right.
You beat me to it. I was just about to say the same thing.
I'm like, we don't have to do that every time. Like, we understand. Like,
will it cut? Will it slice?
Will it kill? Every time it's like, all right,
exactly
dude.
The way he said it.
and he's the goofiest dude. And he's way into every. And it's like, bro, relax.
Yeah, you just sliced a pig with a guy's knife, that was made in an hour.
I know, it's crazy. Like, all those people impress me, though. Even the people that lose, I'm like, it looks kind of cool, though. Like, it still looks like a cool knife. Like, I know.
My favorite part is when at the end of the episode, they go back home to their own shops,
Right.
and then the cameras follow them there. And, it's always get there, you always feel sorry for the guy. It's just like wood shops, or anything else. Like, they go to one shop, and this dude has spent $150,000 on equipment. It has like a mecha shop. Like, everything is automated, everything. And then they go to this poor other guy's shop, and he's got a Lowe's shed, and he's setting PVC pipes on fire trying to quench the steel.
It's so true.
Using a Craftsman combination belt and disc sander.
Yeah. One dude had the fire department come. Like, it almost burned his shop down. He's like, I just wasn't quite equipped for this.
Clearly.
It's like, beforehand they didn't interview these people. Like, so where are you making knives at home? Well, I got a dumpster out back that I made into a shed, and
with tarps,
right, with tarps on top.
No
flammable, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I use my wife's craft room.
Yeah,
you like inside the house? Well, yeah. It's just, we don't have a very nice house anyway, so if it burns down, we get the money anyway.
It's a she shed.
That's fine. Well, what have you guys been working on this week?
I've been busy. I say I've been busy. I've been staring into my backyard for several days, watching $600 to $700 worth of wood just get rained on for the last week, because it's rained every single day since I went and bought the wood to do my pergolas, the next 2 pergolas I'm going to do.
I was going to say, I thought you finished it.
Well, I did one. I did the one over my pull equipment. Now I'm going to do 2 more over the new concrete pads that I poured. They're going to come off my back porch. So still quite a bit of work to do, but man, the rain has been killing me. I've got all the stone, brick, and all that stuff to do the walls, which I got a friend of mine who's a mason who's going to come over and help me do all that. So it's just sitting there getting rained on, and I mean, it's rained every single day for a week. Just enough to where you couldn't do anything, So this last weekend, me and Brian decided we were going to jump in the shop, get it cleaned up, and start finishing out his built-ins that we've been working on since last September. Of course, little by little. Yeah. I mean, it's 30 minutes at a time whenever we get some time to try to get it. And they're it's huge built-ins in his office that we're building. So we went and got all the stuff and started making drawers and drawer fronts and cabinet door fronts or cabinet doors and all that good stuff. And man, I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 drawers, 8 drawer fronts, and then 8 more cabinet doors that we were making. So we just formed an assembly line. I didn't really film a whole lot of it. I got him to take some pictures while we were doing it, and just try to knock out as much stuff as that, as we could with that. So it was good. It's good just to be making.
Shaker style, or?
Yeah, I just did shaker style, and I used my Amana bits on the router table. Just took it outside instead of doing it in the shop because there was so much of it. Didn't even hook it up to dust collection. Just started running stuff through out there in the driveway.
Oh, that's what you had stuff out there for.
Yeah.
I saw you said we brought the Woodshop outside today.
Right. Yeah, it was just nicer to get it out there and just let all the dust go. Because, I mean, with running that much through, unless you just have impeccable dialed-in dust collection, your shop's going to be destroyed one way or the other. So it's nice just to get out there.
Yeah, good thing you hang out with your neighbors like every night, and you're not just like you hate your neighbors and you're out there with like just tons and tons of sawdust you're running shit through and it's just blowing into their yard.
Yeah.
Right.
I found, so it's like, I think this is the second or third time I've used those Amana tool bits to make the shaker styles. And, before I used to do it on my table saw. If you don't have a router table, a table saw is a good option. But if you have a router table, buy those bits if you have to make a lot of them. They were so easy to use, and they're adjustable. Like they come with little spacers and washers that you can put in to adjust the gaps. So if you're doing something bigger than a 1/4 inch, like if you're using glass or something like that for the centerpiece, they're adjustable. So it's really nice. You can kind of reduce that rattle or whatever if you need to.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So got a lot of that done, and that's about it. It's been hockey with my son every other night but that.
Is
and
hockey
tonight,
year round?
Canceled tonight.
Yeah, I got canceled tonight. Well, I talked him into not going to practice tonight so we could do the podcast because we had hockey Sunday, supposed to have it tonight, got it Tuesday, Wednesday. And I was like, bro, he's got tryouts Tuesday and Wednesday. So I told him he needed to take a break tonight so that he'd be fresh for tryouts on Tuesday and Wednesday.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's not year round, but it's basically year round because as soon as the season ends, you get a 2-week break, and then they start spring camp, and then spring camp goes through. I think they got 2 or 3 more weeks of spring camp, and then the season will start September-ish. So you have several months there, kind of in a break, and I try to keep him off the ice as much as possible during that time. Just let him go be a kid and play and ride his bikes and rollerblade or do whatever he wants to do, with just throwing some skill work stuff in there every now and then, every other week, something like that, just so he's not getting burned out.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask. Do you fear that him being in this so much day to day that he's just going to either get injured really young, which happens, right? Like, because we had, you always hear these star quarterbacks or football players that were playing since they were like 6, but by the time they hit high school, they've already had like 2 dislocated knees or like a torn ACL and shit like that. And so do you fear that a little bit, like with him playing so much?
Not really with hockey. Unlike with baseball and football and stuff, there isn't a repetitive motion, or it's a contact sport, but not until they start getting older.
Right. Can
they really, really, start doing any contact. So I'm not really worried about the injury stuff like I am like in baseball. If it was baseball, I'd want to try to reduce his games because, trying to save his arm, and it's just not good for all the muscles and rotator cuffs and stuff. But with hockey, there isn't that repetitive motion of anything there that you could wear down over time. It's just more about what he wants to do. But all of his buddies are on the team, and they go hang out afterwards, and they come, swim over to our house and play and stuff. So he wants to go, and I ask him all the time, like, if you want to go, we'll go. If you don't, we don't. It's all good.
That's good.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm always I'm always torn with all the head injury stuff with football, because football, I love football. I absolutely love football, and I thought, like, having my son, that he's going to grow up playing Pee Wee, and then we're going to go to high school, and then, whatever. Probably not past that because he has these genes. So he's not going past high school, let's be honest, dude. But it would be so much fun to watch him. And then now I, hear about all the CTE and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if I really want him to play freaking football.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If he's super into it and he's like, hey, I want to play, I'm probably not going to stop him, but I don't know. It's just I just think about that a lot because I don't want him to get burnt out either of any sport. Like I want him to try a bunch of stuff. And I'm not saying that you're like, fortunate your kid or anything like that, but I've always, like, he's still 5, so it's like I'm at that age where it's like, okay, let's try. And right now he loves ice skating. He's just going through the classes. He has like 2 more classes before he can start like hockey, which is like level 1 hockey where they're just doing the practicing and doing like drills. So they don't have any games. It's just the first level to it. But he loves it and he's fearless with it. So we'll probably stick with it for a while. Probably take the summer off or at least a month or so because we're going to be camping. But I don't know. I want my son to try as many things as possible so he doesn't get burnt out of anything.
That's what I did. I was a 3-sport athlete, baseball, football, and wrestling. And it's nice to be good at a lot of things, but I was never great at any one thing because I was good at a lot of things because you don't have time to really hone in the skills and practice like other people do that have just one sport. I encourage him, especially when it's not so much right now because hockey is so involved and everything now. It's not like when we were kids, like sports now, it's either you all in or you're not. There really isn't just go play baseball for a little bit of a season. It's, are you on a travel team? Practice 5 days a week. You got to do this. You got to do that. And it's the same thing with hockey and everything else. So multiple athletes that do multiple sports, I feel like at this age and going through are a lot less than they were when I was growing up because of that.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily like it. I wish that they would reduce that, let them hone in on certain skills and let them play other sports. Because I agree with you. I like multiple sports. And I've told Carter, I was like, when he gets into middle school and a little bit older into his school, I want him to play all the sports with the school because it's not as involved. He can go to practice directly after school. We can still do hockey. So if he wants to play football, if he wants to wrestle and do stuff, then, I hope he does when it comes to that stuff. And he can still play at a high level of hockey and do those things as well, I think. We'll see.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm happy about our valley, which isn't a huge valley, but we only had 3 high schools up till about 2 years ago. And so each high school had a couple thousand kids, which isn't a ton, right? But I think that's kind of where our high school was. It wasn't too much bigger than the ones here. But then 2 years ago, they added 2 new high schools in the same year. So like all of them got cut. So now it's like distributed 800 kids per high school, which kind of makes it easier for high school kids to play other sports. They almost need it to. Like it's like if you have a baseball team, a lot of the football players are going to be on the baseball team. A lot of the baseball team is going to be on soccer or whatever, it is, which makes me happy. So hopefully he can just have a ton of different things to play. And my girls too, hopefully softball. I'm sure my wife will be teaching Jack baseball, and she'll be teaching my girls softball because I never played baseball actually as a kid. Never played t-ball, nothing.
Wow.
Which made
it's
me
the only
actually
thing
sad.
I did play.
Really?
Yeah, I played for like 8 years.
Yeah, because you were American, obviously. Jesse wasn't.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I'm a commie, so just
my dad wouldn't let me. Whatever. I didn't really want to play football anyway, but my dad was like, absolutely not. He's like, people.
Do they have testing
destroyed
now that can tell you like how many concussions you've had in your life? Can they do that through imaging and stuff now?
So
sure.
For CTE, you have to be dead to like actually analyze it. So like the most intrusive stuff they can do because they like. I don't know, however they do it. This is from, if you ever listened or watched the Alex Hernandez documentary, which is, you know who he is, right?
Yes.
Right. Do you know who he is, Brandon?
No.
So he's a Patriots. He was tight end. I believe he was tight end on the Patriots.
It's not Alex, it's Aaron.
Aaron Hernandez. Thank you. Aaron Hernandez. Okay. He was a Patriots
I didn't want to like jump in there and correct you. I didn't want to just throw it off the bat. So I let you go.
Jamie, pull that up. Jamie, pull
like, you're stupid. You're stupid. That's not his name. Shut up.
So yeah, he had bad CT, or the family thought he did, because he like increasingly, the more and more he went down his college career into NFL, he just got more like, I don't know, abrupt about things. Like his mental capacity, you could tell, like emotionally, was starting to get more and more off. And so they donated after he killed 3 people and then went to jail and then hung himself or whatever. He committed suicide. They donated his brain to science, and they showed it was like the worst CT they've ever had. Not saying that excuses and it's only the CT's fault for this case, because you watch that documentary, you're like, oh, that kid was messed up from the beginning. Like his parents were not good to him, but still, like from what I remember on that is that to do those types of scans and actually like look at the brain the way they do, they can't do it alive yet, if I remember right. But yeah, the Junior Seau too is a Hall of Fame friggin' linebacker. The same thing. He committed suicide and he had a family, everything like that, and they did scans and he had super bad CTE. So it's like, it kind of scares me.
Yeah, but I think it's got to be, it's going to determine. It's going to be all about that person as well, because there's a lot of people that's had the same amount of concussions as they have had, and it didn't affect them. But I think it 100% does affect you. In these studies and stuff that they've done, it's definitely a real thing. And the more concussions you have, the worse it can get. Right. And I think that it can really affect some people poorly.
Well, one person that I would have been really interesting to see brain-wise would have been Muhammad Ali, because how many freaking strikes to the head he took, and then by the end of his life, he could barely function. It's like, that's
Parkinson's, right?
Yeah, he had Parkinson's, but like, and other stuff as well, right? But there's the fact, it's like, that has to be part of it. Like, that has to be like brain stuff.
Part of the cause of getting
right, and it's like, dude,
something.
Just to see how much damage he took.
So
it'd been crazy.
Yeah.
But that scares me as kids,
we're basically doctors.
Yeah, clearly. This is definitely medical advice.
I don't know. I'd be scared.
I'm going to tell you how to do your checking account next.
Yeah, now I want you to invest everything in Dogecoin.
Yes.
Even though it tanked.
Did you see
I would be very
SNL
interested,
thing?
but very scared to know if my how many I've had.
Oh, well, you've had plenty.
You seem fairly normal still.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've been knocked out a lot, though.
I don't think you have any bodies in your basement, but
no, out of us 3, when they look, they're like, oh, that guy has CT, and they definitely look at you out of all people.
Guy in the top corner.
I played a lot of football. I played football for most of my life, and baseball and wrestling. But then I walked on to Tennessee Tech, played college football for a year there, and I know I got a concussion like the first practice there. I got hit by starting linebacker or starting running back. I was a linebacker. We went on a heads up thing in practice, and we hit, like, it was one of those where like you were turning around backwards and you go and just kind of hit each other direct on.
The Oklahoma drill.
Yeah, right? yeah. And
it's like a duel
hit, and I was just
face.
I'm there to try to impress at this point. I'm going to put everything I have into it, and I hit that kid, and it did nothing to him, but me. My ear pads exploded out of my helmet and came out. Yeah. Both of my arms went completely numb from the shoulder to the fingertips. Couldn't feel them, couldn't move them, nothing.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't know where I was for a few minutes. Like,
your ear pads came out of your helmet?
Both of them shot out of my helmet.
Your shoes came out. You're like, I lost my shoes. I don't know what happened to them. They're in the other end zone. The running back had them. He took my shoes. I don't know. I gave it to him.
It was the hardest I've ever been hit in my life.
That's crazy.
And I just moseyed around to the back of the line.
The fact that the ear pads came out is so embarrassing. You're just like, how does that happen?
Oh no, it's not embarrassing. The kid, I mean, he was a giant and he was a junior. I was a freshman.
Oh no, I get it. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the fact that they came out was just like, because you're like, what are the like what?
Everybody knew that I just got rocked. Like it was no surprise. It's like you threw a grenade in my helmet and it just
stopped the whole practice. Everybody's like, okay, we got to make sure Jesse's not dead.
Oh, that's fantastic.
They didn't. I just walked around to the back of the thing and somebody was like, "You good?" I was like, "Yep."
You're like, no.
You're like, I didn't say another word for the rest of the
I couldn't even move my arms. Both my arms were completely numb all the way down. Like, couldn't move them. Oh. And I sat there. I was just like, I hope they come back by the time it's my turn again. And they just slowly start coming back.
You just get up and if they weren't back, they're like, all right, your turn, JP. You're like, okay. You lay down. You're like, oh God. You have to stand up and run at him like a penguin. You're just like, no arms at all.
His arms are both behind him, like he's trying to run real fast.
Yeah. It's that, what do they call it? It's the anime thing? You know?
Yeah, Sam, what's it called?
It's called the Naruto run.
Naruto run.
Yeah.
I knew he'd know it. It's hilarious.
I never had it with both arms. I've hit people, like, the worst was always kickoff, return, because you're just running down the field as fast as you possibly can.
So dangerous. Yeah.
And either getting lit up or lighting somebody up. And it is extremely dangerous. I'm glad that they have kind of altered those rules a little bit to make that safer, because it was so bad back in the day. But I'd hit people and get my right arm would go numb. You know, I'd get a stinger or whatever.
Right.
And you'd have to start wearing those cowboy collars. Never had both arms. Like, I was just standing there. I was like, this is terrible.
That's
But anyway,
so funny.
I digress. It has nothing to do with woodworking, but I thought it was interesting.
That's crazy.
This week, I took out 2 giant plum trees getting ready for the shop. Dude, it took 8 truckloads to the dump. That's how big those trees were. It was ridiculous. And I cut them down so small, and it still took 8 freaking truckloads. It was ridiculous. Wow. Guess what load Sam showed up to help me?
8.
7. He showed up on load 7 to help.
Perfect timing.
What kind of chainsaw were you using?
Okay, I see what you're doing there. First of all,
I'm not doing anything. I was curious. I like chainsaws.
So my chainsaw,
Is this Sawzall?
it's a Prius. Okay. It's full electric. It's about 12 inches big. No, it is only like a 16-inch little electric one. And I got it. It's funny. I got it 3 years ago, and it was when I was buying tool. It was when I first started doing woodworking stuff, and I had a tree blow over in my backyard. I'm like, oh, I need a chainsaw. And then I started looking at chainsaws, and I'm like, I don't know anything about engines, and I'm not doing. I'll get the corded one. So I went and got the corded one, and I used it one time, and I never used it again until like this week. And
So
that
it's
thing
not
did
even a
pretty good.
cordless one.
No, it's corded.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I've
It's
cut
like a Black and Decker.
and I cut 2 extension cords because
Oh my
they got wrapped
God.
around, and I didn't notice, and it was like black. So I was like, "Rrr," and it went. I was like, oh god, dang. They were like good extend. One was a 14 gauge extension cord, and I was like,
Clinch Electric is not going to be happy.
nah, that one was clinch like the other one weren't. But yeah, I was like, oh, that was a nice extension cord, son of a bee.
Brandon, as a former small engine repairman, how disappointed in Jesse are you right now?
Quite.
He's like, I kind of want to just call off the rest of the podcast.
No, it's not.
To be honest.
I wasn't until he said it was a corded one. I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, actually those battery ones are pretty cool. And he's like,
No.
the corded one? I'm like, all right.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I
I mean, I
don't
wonder
even-
if he has does he have a corded weed eater too?
Yeah.
No, I have cordless. I have the Ego ones. Those ones
It's got
nice.
the big, huge guard on it, you know? Those old ones.
I did have that tiny. My first weed eater, at our other house, was that tiny Ryobi, and took like the tiny batteries, and it was just like, and it always
Yeah.
sounded like it was gonna die. And I'm like, oh, this is, and it doesn't even have 2 strings that come out; it's just one.
Yeah.
You know, it's horrible.
No,
Yeah.
couldn't do that.
My mom bought so my mom likes to do yard work, and she's out there watering and doing all the flower gardening and keeping stuff alive when I don't. But
I knew it wasn't you. I was
No,
like, his
absolutely.
garden looks too nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely not Brandon.
Dude, it's so much. Where we live, it's like windy most of the time, so water evaporates so fast. You have to water every day, otherwise everything just dies. So I kind of gave up on the gardening thing last year when all that happened because it just kept dying. I couldn't water it enough. And I even set up like drip irrigation, but I apparently still wasn't leaving it on long enough or whatever. But she's doing a great job. Anyway, she was like, I want to get a little, because I bought her a battery powered weed eater when I worked at the saw shop, but it was like a commercial one. And it was back when they kind of just first started coming out. So it had a big battery, all kinds of stuff. So I was like, well, they've progressed quite a bit. And I have a bunch of Makita batteries. So when we went to Home Depot and we were looking at them, and they had a kit that had the trimmer and the blower in it for like $200 or $250, something like that. And then she's been buying so much flowers and stuff there. The lady at the cash register, it's been giving her discounts because she's
Nice.
like, "Oh, you're back," and so We went and bought all this stuff, and she gave us like $50 off. So I was like, oh, because you could buy just the trimmer for $199, or the trimmer and the blower for like $249.
Yeah.
And I was like, we just got a free blower basically because she gave us $50 off. But
That's awesome.
it was of the whole order. It was like $500 worth of stuff. But still.
That's awesome.
So I've been using the blower because I was like, I'll give you the money for the blower. I've been wanting one.
Which one is it? Which brand?
Makita.
Oh, nice.
Because that's what and I used the trimmer. It was pretty impressive. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie. And my mom used it for like, I was like, how long did you, or I came home and all this stuff was, edged. And I was like, how long do you use this for? She's like, I don't know, like half hour, 45 minutes. And I looked and the battery was still like half full. I was like,
awesome.
oh, jeez. And it's just one battery. Like, it's not
Right.
like the track saw that takes two.
So it's just a normal, like, 20-volt battery?
They're 18.
Oh, 18 volt.
Or,
Wow, that's
yeah,
pretty good.
whatever.
I have
Yeah,
the
but
Ego
it's
ones.
the bigger battery, but it's
Yeah.
still not that good.
I have the Ego ones, and sometimes if my small batteries run out, I have to put the big lawnmower battery on that thing. It is so heavy to
Yeah.
freaking carry around.
Right.
It's because the battery's like 3 times as big.
Yeah, that's
And
how
it's-
big
and
the
I'm like,
old one
oh,
I got
God,
her
this
was. Like, it was like
yeah.
a big battery, like a
Yeah.
lawnmower. Well, not a lawnmower size, but like a motorcycle battery size. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
So this one's much
They're cool
better.
though.
Yeah.
All the electric stuff's becoming so powerful.
Oh, it'll
where-
take over
Yeah,
within
that's
5 years for sure.
I'm happy about that, to be honest with me.
Yeah,
I
I'm
just-
happy I'm
it's
not
so
relying
simple.
on fixing chainsaws for a living.
Right.
Although all the commercial stuff they will never. Well, I shouldn't say never, but no time soon they're going to be able to come up with a powerful enough system that lasts long enough for the commercial guys to use all day, and loggers and stuff. That's not going to happen. They can barely deal with gas.
Right. They have those riding lawnmowers. Like Ego just came out with that as well. They look
Oh, wow.
awesome. I think Tools by Design has a riding lawnmower and has 6 batteries on it. And he's just going around. It's like what is it called? Zero turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are cool. But
Yeah.
has a little hitch on the back so you can take everything like your little whatever.
That's crazy.
Cart around your yard. Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I haven't been in the shop much.
At all?
surprisingly. Made a couple cutting boards. Well, actually, I don't think I've been out here at all since we were on here last, because I talked about that cutting board that slid in the cabinets. It's still sitting here. It hasn't moved.
You haven't finished that?
It's done, but he hasn't
That thing-
got it.
That blew
Anything.
JP's mind last time we talked. He was like, "What? Cutting board in a cabinet? Crazy!
Yeah.
I've never heard of that." I'm
What
like,
is
"It's
this?"
pretty normal."
Right?
And he was just anyway.
I did do the bandsaw review video. That
Um,
was about all his shop time I had. I've been working out in the yard mostly.
Mm.
Yeah, put up a dog kennel.
So,
I saw that.
just so Sam knows,
I was gonna
Yeah.
say
You've been distracted
Jesse-
for the last
Yeah.
10 minutes. I'm like,
he's had
JP's
to
not
have
here.
technical difficulties.
He's trying to change his background
he
again.
texted the video of you. No, I didn't. He texted the video of you using the chainsaw.
Oh, did he?
And I clicked on it, and my headphones went to my phone, and
Oh.
they disconnected off of here, which made my recording stop for a minute, which I didn't talk at all. You guys were talking the entire time, but it did make my recording stop for a minute, and then I just now got them up back and running again where I can hear y'all, and I just hit record. So at minute 29, if you want to remember that, my recording stops for a few minutes. You might have to
That's Sam's
push it
fault.
over a little bit
We
there,
blame
buddy.
Sam for that one.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sending JP.
So-
anything.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
sorry.
send him anything anymore.
This is your fault.
If he was courted, he'd be fine.
I've got to remember to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to remember to turn my Bluetooth off on my phone when you send stuff like that, because it just automatically transfers my headphones to it.
It's
I'm
so
sorry.
cool and so not great also at the same time. Like, I'll be on a phone call at work or something, and I'll turn my iPad on, and it'll switch to my iPad or back and forth. I'm like, what is happening? And I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's cool, but it's also. Have you updated?
They're still the best things ever.
Yeah.
AirPods.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
I have the $30.
man, they're amazing.
I got the $30 knockoffs from Walmart. They suck.
Jeez. You should try the AirPods.
I know. I'd like to.
Even
Eventually, I'll get some.
the guy, one of the owners at work, he is the guy that's like, oh, we can get that cheaper from Amazon, or I can get that cheaper direct from China, this and that. And then his wife bought AirPods, and then he borrowed them one time, And the next day he was like, "So is Costco open?"
He went and bought them.
He sent her to go get him some. I was like, "Oh yeah!" All of a sudden,
So
like,
why are
"Dude,
they so much better than like other Bluetooth headphones?
They're just the noise canceling on them is insane, for one,
Oh,
and
I
the
didn't
The noise canceling is insane. And being able
transparency
to
mode
like turn
is
that on and
great.
off. Yeah, being able to turn that on and off like on your phone.
Well,
is
you can do
excellent.
it on
the transparency mode makes it
on
where
the
it's
thing too.
yeah.
Yeah. So like your
transparency mode makes it very easy to hear.
like your shooting muffs.
And, when you wear it,
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So they have a mic on it.
Correct.
Cool.
Yep. And it works
and
very good.
yeah, and the sound quality and everything else, they really are amazing. I mean, I carry them in my pocket every single day, just like my keys, and I use them every single day.
Also,
Are they the small?
it reads
Yeah,
your
I love
text
them.
messages to you. Siri comes through whenever you get a text message. It'll read it to you, and you can reply with voice or whatever. Talk through
cool.
them with your phone.
You have the small ones, JP? Like they're shorter, or are they the long ones?
They're the shorter. They're the pros, so they're shorter.
I couldn't tell if it was just like your
Yeah.
face was fat, so it was covering half of it, or if it was.
Rough.
My face used to be fat, but I lost
I've
almost
noticed-
20 pounds here
You know,
since
I saw
February.
was it your photo today? Maybe yesterday. I was like,
Yeah.
JP lose more weight? Like I know you lost 8 pounds doing the carnivore diet, but it's like, God, you look smaller.
Down 16 total.
Nice.
Trying to go down another probably 6 or 7. I'm at 204 and I want to get under 200. So starting today, I went back on strict all meat, which I will do for the next 30 days
Sounds
again.
awesome.
It's amazing. I love it.
You're like, I tell my wife it's a diet. She
Yeah.
believes me.
I have to smoke all the time. It's very unfortunate.
And I think this time I'm going to go get blood work done about 20 or 30 days in.
Shouldn't you do
just
it, like,
right before I
before
start
and
going
You got to
off
do
of
it before and after. You got to compare, man.
I do have a physical blood work from end of last year when I was just eating
I got
normal.
you. So you're just going to compare
I have
it.
something
Yeah,
to compare
okay.
it to.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we should see, if it's something major, because I've been basically doing it for a long time. I mean, I did it for 30 days straight in February, and then starting in February, after 30 days of that, all I did was introduce vegetables every now and then. So, and then I slacked a little bit. Of course, I still drink some beer.
So you're worried about
had
maybe
some
possibly
Takis.
your cholesterol? Is that what it is? Blood work wise?
I'm not really worried
Well,
about
I know you
it.
feel good and stuff. I'm
I
saying,
s-
like, when you think about it, for me, that's what
Yeah, I want to
right.
make sure.
That's it. Like, every time I say,
Yeah.
I was talking to my wife about it, I'm like, yeah, it sounds like it'd be amazing. And I think I could do it for a while and just see. And then just do meat and vegetables. After you do it for a while, lose some weight. Do basically just meat and vegetables, and you can live still. So I'm still going to drink beer and whiskey and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing she always brings up. She's like, but what would it do to your cholesterol? Like, would it be bad? Because we've had problems like that in my family. So it's like, do you really want to do that? And it's like, I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. So I'm interested to see what yours will look like.
We have high cholesterol in my family as well. My dad, my grandfather all have high cholesterol. My grandfather has been no red meat, no eggs, he did it for 40 years. He only ate chicken.
You know how pissed he's going to be? You know how
fish.
pissed he's going to be? If you come back, you've been eating just meat and your cholesterol didn't change. He's going to be
Turns
like,
down.
mother...
Well,
He's like, these stupid doctors.
he still took cholesterol medication his entire
Wow.
life. But he stopped eating red meat, eggs, and all that other stuff because of high cholesterol. But he still took, had to take medication.
So then you'd be like, if it's not helping,
and-
what are we doing here?
Yeah. And my dad eats whatever he wants. He takes medication, and it keeps his cholesterol
Yeah.
in check.
You haven't had issues, though, yet?
I don't know
You
how
haven't
it's
had
going
issues
to
yet?
affect
Wow.
No.
It's
I
pretty
haven't
good
had
for
anything,
75.
That was good.
But I exercise
Yeah,
a ton.
yeah.
I'm in the gym 4 and 5 days a week doing CrossFit and stuff. So I hope that plays a good part in it. I don't know. I'm not no damn doctor. I'm just going to go to the doctor and he can just tell me what I need to do. But I still hold true, like, the fact that like I don't believe that I'm eating that much more meat than I usually do.
Yeah.
I
You're just
still,
cutting out all the bullshit.
even when I'm,
Right.
yeah. Like I eat meat in every single meal, no matter what I'm doing. So, and if I was really, really honing in on a diet, I probably might eat a salad for lunch instead of meat. But I'm still eating a lot of meat, even on a good diet.
Did you guys happen to catch the JRE with Ethan Suplee? Have you seen? You know who that is?
I haven't listened to his podcast in a while.
So Ethan Suplee, do you guys watch Remember the Titans? I know JP has because it's a classic.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it,
Yeah.
Brandon? Mm-hmm. So you know the big guy, the really, really big guy? He was also on My Name is Earl.
It's been a long time.
But he's
seen
the
it.
big, I forget what his name is but he's huge. He's like 400, 500 pounds, in the Remember the Titans. And then he was always big in My Name is Earl, and he's big in a bunch of other shows that he was in. Well, now he's like 270.
Oh, I saw a clip
pounds.
from that where he was talking about how he lost an insane amount of weight and stuff.
Yeah, so he tried like every diet multiple times and stuff, and he said he did keto for a long time, did all these other things for a long time, and he tried all these things, and he basically just came down to, it's like, you just gotta moderate everything. Like, he's like, I have a little rice, I have chicken, I have veggies, and he's like, but every day I have a little bit of potatoes, or I have potatoes or some sort of starch that like is kind of like my treat almost. It's like, but I have a little bit because it helps me get through a normal week, and I feel normal, and then I can go somewhere and eat, and I'll be okay. And all he does is lift now, dude. He's jacked, and it's like, dude, you lost like 250 pounds. And I went to his profile, looked at things, and he's got like a bunch of loose skin and stuff, but like he's still jacked. And I'm like, God, dude. But it's inspiring. He's like, yeah, I lost 100 pounds. He's like, I lost 100 pounds from I can't remember if he lost it through a surgery, but no, he lost 100 pounds, then got his skin removed. Right, and he's saying just in his abdomen, he had 11 pounds of skin taken off, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
And then he gained 120 back after he did that.
Oh.
He's like, can you imagine like my mental state after realizing how stupid I was for gaining 120 pounds back after getting surgery of getting my skin removed? It's like, oh yeah. But he was just talking about how he's like, I have body dysmorphia like crazy. He's like, right now he's like, I know I should think of myself looking great, but I never will. And then I look back at, I have some form of body dysmorphia, not to that extent by any means, just because I was freaking heavy in high school, and like all the way through middle school I was chubby, real like big man tits, chubby, and then my senior year,
Big man tits.
yeah, my senior year of high school, I ended up losing 60 pounds. Like I started dating Brooke, and by the time I started dating Brooke, I was like, why am I trying to be heavy? Like I was giving myself an excuse because I played football and I was offensive line. I was like, I need to be big. And so I'm like, I need to eat 12 donuts because I need to be big. Like, it's just bull crap in your head just to give yourself an excuse.
She's like, yeah, you're going to need to fix this.
No, and
before we get married.
Right. And so, but she was just like, she didn't care. And, but for me, it was like, why do I need to be big anymore? This makes no sense at all. Like, so I just started literally moderating my food. And I was like, I'm never going to eat anything over a fistful, right? Like, so if I have meat, potatoes, salad, whatever, it's all just that's it, and I'm never going back for seconds. So I just started that, and I lost like 60 pounds, and I went down to like 170, and even at 170, so I went from like 230 to 170, and even at 170 I looked at myself and I was like, God, I'm so fat. Like, why am I so fat? And then I look at pictures now, I'm like, God, dude, I was so skinny. Like, Brooke's like, I hated it. I told you if you got down to 170 that I wouldn't be with you anymore. She was like, you're too skinny. You're too small. And
that's I like that.
Yeah.
That's an excellent thing. Like the no more than a fist.
Yeah, it worked really well. And once you get, well, I always heard too that after 90 days, your stomach will adapt to whatever you're eating, right?
Sure.
So if you're eating like that portion, right, just a fist-sized portion of everything for 90 days, for 3 months, your body gets to the point where it's like, oh, I'm full. After you eat one meal, you don't go back and you stick to it, you're done. And I was still eating 3 meals a day at that point. Now I only eat 2 meals a day. So if I actually did that, now I think I could lose a ton of weight. I need to, because I keep talking to Brooke about it. But then there's this place called Crumble Cookies here in the valley. Oh God, dude, they
There's
deliver
4 of them on my bar right now.
Oh, really? You have them in your house?
Yes, you know how terrible that is. In my house, like I'm walking there trying. I'm like, all right, we gotta be doing. There's a full pizza, 4 crumble cookies
Today, right now.
Yes, right now.
This
Like-
week's
like
cookies
right
look
before I went to bed.
amazing. They look amazing. The animal
you
cookie.
realize how
gosh,
much
dude.
self-control JP has to have? Because
That's
I've been on
unbelievable.
the phone with him when he's in the Taco Bell drive-thru, and he was giving me all kinds of shit back when I used to eat Taco Bell all the time. And I could hear his wife in the background, "Don't let him tell you what to do, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, I'm like, "Oh, you're at Taco Bell," because she was saying something about a chalupa or something. I was like, "Oh, you're at Taco Bell." He's like, "I'm not eating anything." And she's like, "No, he's stupid," or something like that. She's like, "Don't let him control your life either. You eat whatever you want."
That's awesome.
So I could just imagine what's
Yeah.
just floating around the house.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, she's 5'2". She was 110 pounds probably.
She's like, "I eat
Not
whatever
me.
I
I
whatever
can't do
I
that.
want."
I eat a donut, my ass will jiggle for a week. Like I can't. I don't.
Nice. Okay, so that's the next TikTok that you're gonna film is
Yeah,
eating a
yeah.
donut and then
Yeah.
ass jiggling.
I gotta. As soon as I get off of anything that isn't a regular diet or exercise, man, I blow up. I got as big as 250 one point, and I had to get control of that. And I got down to like 196, and then since then, I've been kind of floating, around 210-ish, and then here, beginning of this year, I got back up to 220. I was like, got to do something about it again. I'm going in the wrong direction, so
Yeah.
just
You
trying to get
forgot
it
to
back
tell
under
everybody
control.
that you're only 5'4".
I'm not 5'4".
I actually believed you for a second. I was like, I thought he was like 5'8".
I
Is he
say
really
this because I
5'4"?
know he could whoop my ass, but we're states away from each other, so it's safe.
I am 5'8" and 3/4. Thank you.
3/4. Ooh, that's how you know you have some sort of complex about being short. So when you have to
With
throw
his-
the 3/4 in there.
With his
I
boots
get-
on.
I get crap all the time about my height because all of my buddies are like 6'4", 6'6", 6'5". Every one of them. I'm the shortest out of all of them.
Yeah. You're like, you
You're
want to
like, it's
wrestle?
average. You always do that. I'm an average height. And everyone's like, no one believes you. Whoever made that number up is lying.
It's like, I was in the pool.
They're like, where, Asia?
Yeah, exactly. You're like, that's a lie. That's
Taller
not
than
average.
all of my Filipino friends.
Well, like all the, when you look up like the tallest average males are in Iceland or whatever, and I was in my head, I'm like, oh dang, that's crazy. They're probably like average like 6'3", 6'4". That'd be nuts. And then you look it up and it's like 6 foot. I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like 6'1". Like
Right.
that's not even that tall. Like that's. I don't know. Then it's like U.S. is 5'8", and I'm like, that's a lie. It's not true.
It's pretty. It's pretty tall, Jesse.
Thanks. Thank you.
Dude, I can't. I'm 6'1" or so, like right around that. And when
Yeah.
I get around people that are like 6'6", I'm like, Jesus, are you human? Like, how do you fit in a car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So those are the guys I hang out with. They're all 6'5", 6'6". They bench
Yeah.
press 415 pounds. I'm like,
They
"God,
weigh
those are
like
giants."
300 and they look normal. Like, wait,
Yeah.
what?
They
You
wanna
could
make
pick
fun
up
of
the
me.
back of my truck. Okay, that's cool.
Training to do the Murph again this year. Y'all ever?
Are you
heard of
doing the
it?
Murph?
Yeah, I do it every year.
I know what it is. I've never done it.
Yeah,
when is it? Everyone
it's
does
good.
it kind of the same day, right? Is it his
on Memorial
anniversary?
Day.
Oh,
Memorial Day.
yeah. You
Yeah,
and Cam
on
did it,
Memorial.
right?
Yeah, Cam did it one
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Crazy assholes.
What is it?
It's,
Explain what it is,
it's
because I need
too
something
much-
to
too
I need
much
something to
exercise
train for.
is what it is.
Like I need
Yeah.
motivation, because I was gonna do the. Have you ever heard of the 4x4x48 by David Goggins?
Yeah. Do you want me
Yes.
to just like text you that you're fat every morning?
Yeah, that'd probably help. Yeah,
I will
Yeah.
do that
Is
for
that
you
the-
because we're friends.
Jesse, is that the crazy one with Doggins that like you run 4 miles?
4
every
miles
whatever?
every 4 hours for 48 hours.
Yeah.
And I
Man,
thought
I
got
remember
that
when he was
dude-
putting that out, and I was
That
like,
dude
"That is
did it. That was
insane,"
on-
but I want to do it.
Right. That's what I like. I'm the same thing. I'm like, I think I could do it, because it's not a time thing. Like, if you walk the 4 miles, That counts as doing your 4 miles, but that just means you have less time
You don't
to
get to
rest.
sleep.
Yeah, well, and then there's less time to rest before you get out and do another 4 miles, right? And so it's like
Right.
the faster you get them done, the faster you get to relax and stretch and do all this stuff. But yeah, you probably get to take a couple naps here and there. But I'd like to do something crazy like that just to prove to myself, hey, you still got it. Well, actually, I never knew I got it, so it's like, hey, you can get it. You
Got it now.
It took you like almost 30 years, but you finally got it. And yeah, I don't know. I want to do something. So what's the Murph? I know that it has to do with pull-ups, and it's within a certain time frame, right? Pull-ups, push-ups, and running.
So it's dedicated to I forget his first name, but Murphy something. He was in the military, killed in the military. I'll think of it in a minute.
It's Lone Survivor. It's the sergeant in Lone Survivor. It's that's who it is. It's
Yeah, I can't think of his name. It's Murphy something. Maybe,
I love that book.
Maybe our
Looking
guy.
at Sam.
Yeah, I'm looking at Sam. All right.
Look it up, Jamie.
Maybe our guy will look it up.
It's
But
the
anyway,
Murph, yeah,
The
but
Murph Challenge.
by who's it named after?
Murph.
About.
Murphy. His last name's Murphy. His first name
Lieutenant Michael Murphy.
Michael Murphy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So his favorite workout, and you do it every Memorial Day as kind of a tribute and a thank you for their service. It's 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then a 1 mile run. And if you want to do it the way he did it, you wear your
weighted
vest, which
yeah.
a weighted vest. So he did it with his bulletproof vest on. Typically weighs between 15 and 20 pounds. CrossFitters say 20 pounds for men, 14 pounds for women is what they try to wear. This year I'm going to try to do it with a vest on.
You did it without a vest last year.
I did. I'm usually between 50, 55 minutes, somewhere around there, getting that done. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of work. There's people that get it done like closer
Wait, what
to
did
30.
you say? What did you say? How long it take you?
I want to say the fastest I've ever done it was like 46 minutes,
Damn, that's fast.
and then the slowest is like
Feels fast.
58 without a vest. But this year I'm going to do it with a vest on. And there's different ways you can do it, and you can scale it, if you just want to go do it.
So you start with a mile, end with a mile, and then do all the other workouts in between. And there's not an order. You don't have to do all 300 at once, right? You just have to get it done. So you can mix them up.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it the prescribed way, then you do 100 pull-ups straight out, 200 push-ups straight out, 300 air squats straight out, and then you run a mile. There is very few people who do that,
Right.
And can do that because it's just insane.
The pull-up thing. I could do the squats.
yeah.
I think I could do the squats.
I'm pretty sure I could do
I could pace that.
do like 3 pull-ups.
Yeah, the pull-ups would screw me because I could probably do like 10, and then I'm like,
Right.
oh god, I'm shot. Like I'm gonna need
Gotta
like
go
10
take a
minutes
nap.
before I can do 3 more.
Anything like that is like with push-ups, bench press. I sprint to a brick wall. So like it looks like it's easy for me, and then all of a sudden I can't do them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I typically do and what a lot of people do is you run the mile and then you do 5, 10, 15. So you do 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 squats, and then you keep doing that.
Repeat it.
Yes, and
So
I
you
think
do
you do
30 sets?
20 rounds.
Well, 300 times. Oh, 15. You said 15 squats?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. 20 rounds, I think that makes sense.
What are you shaking your head no for? Is the math wrong?
No, there's absolutely no way.
You're not doing the math on this? God,
That's why I'm shaking.
Yeah,
my
here
head.
for?
It's 20 rounds of 5,
I'm
10, 15.
registering you right now.
Okay. Oh, you're registering me. He's like, I just signed you up for it, so now you're committed. I'm like, oh,
You should do it. You can do it.
No, I really want to. You want to do it with me?
Next year?
No, this year. When's Memorial Day?
21 days.
You want to do it this year? All right. You want me to do it? I'll try to do it.
We'll do it.
I'll try to
Yeah.
do it. We should film it.
challenge.
Sam will film me try to do it.
Okay.
How about that? Brandon,
Sounds good.
try to do it with us.
Absolutely not.
Just try. Just try. We'll do it for the podcast. We'll throw it all together. It will show me struggling. We'll show JP just breezing through with a vest. He's like, look at my short legs.
Right.
And then
First
it's
of
going to
all-
be me. This could be
First of
me.
all, I can't run. fun.
Well, this could be me, and I'm struggling, and I can't do a push-up, pull-up, and then it's Brandon, and he's just like collapsed on the floor, and his mom's like standing.
He's in his rocking chair drinking a sweet tea. He's like,
sitting on the couch eating a donut. That's what he's doing.
That's funny.
No, I'll try. I'll try 21 days. I gotta start running.
I think my mat's right there. Let's see what I tell you.
I'll try. God, dude.
It's on the 31st, so yeah, I was dead on.
200.
Yeah.
200 push-ups. Okay. All right.
I did a preparation of it for it today.
You gotta hold it. You gotta hold me to it.
Yeah, you gotta do it, man. It's awesome.
You don't think I'm gonna do it? Yeah, I can do it. I'm gonna try. I'm not saying I'm gonna. I'll probably take 3 hours to do it, but I'm gonna try to do it.
It's become my favorite thing to do on Memorial Day. Get up early and go do it on Memorial Day, like 7 a.m.
Be here.
And then you're drinking beer by 9:30, 10 o'clock.
It's in amazing. The car. Just follow me in the car with the camera. We'll
See,
do
that sounds more fun to me. Follow you in the car with the camera.
Sam's gonna follow me, and then the year after you can do it with me, and I'll try to do it with a vest because I'm gonna be shredded, shred city,
shred city.
The vest is an all new ball game, man. It is. It's not easy, man.
Yeah, I ran with a vest once because I was gonna do the fire academy till I realized that I didn't want to be away from home all the time, and I ran with a vest once. I was like, yeah, this sucks.
Yeah,
it was only like 45 pounds too. It wasn't even that crazy because that's what a fire pack weighs. Yeah, a wildland pack, anyways.
I remember my wife, she's always, like every woman, she's like, oh, God, like wearing a bra. And then, like, they take their bras off at night, and they're like, this thing sucks wearing. Well, I was like, every time I'd work, as a state trooper, I'm like, I wear like a full body bra. Like, you can't complain for 10 hours in a hot-ass car.
I was just about to get you like that's very stereotypical. Like you're like every woman. I'm like that's extremely stereotypical. And then you brought that up. I'm like, oh no, you're right.
yeah, it's 100%. It's 100% right. So I like the women that don't wear bras. I'm like, I get it. Like I at least you don't complain. So it's whatever. No, but.
Judging by your description of you a couple years ago, I'm sure you do get it.
Yeah, I get it. It's called what was it? Seinfeld? A bro? I'm pretty sure it's called a bro.
Bro.
Yeah.
And I rocked it. So boom.
Oh man.
Anyway. Well, let's wrap it up. I guess Sam, you'll edit that little clip out where we're all like,
nope.
You just gotta leave it.
Just gonna make that the Instagram post.
You're supposed to be on our team, Sam.
We all just like, all right. Well, okay. Well, we're just at about an hour. So thanks for listening, guys. Make sure you rate us on Apple iTunes. We do appreciate it. The best thing you can do if you want to support the podcast is share with friends. Tell them to listen. We do appreciate it. A lot of cool messages. A lot of people that I've never knew listened. And they, send us a message and stuff. It's pretty awesome, and it just makes us feel good that people are actually listening, enjoying it. So,
also, if you are enjoying this, feel free to send us all Dogecoin.
It's really low right now that it plummeted, so it won't cost you very much. No, so yeah, make sure you guys watch on YouTube as well. Make sure you like, and if you have suggestions on people who we should have on, right, like to have on the podcast and interview and talk to. We had a lot of fun with Derek from Over the Fire. Whether it's grilling, making, whatever, send them in. We'd love to talk to more people. So thanks, guys. Listen to you, or we'll see you next time. We'll hear from you next time. We'll listen to you next time. What would we say to people that just listen to us? We'll see you. We don't actually see you, but
we'll talk to you next time.
We'll talk to you.
We'll talk to you next time. Talk to you next time. I'm drunk. Go build something.
No, you're not. You're drinking coffee and you screwed this all up.
Shut up, JP.
There's Kahlua in his coffee. You don't know.
Yeah. Can you spike that, please, Sam? He does way better.